Well, hello there. Hello, my fellow therapeutic spiritual counseling enthusiasts. I have a question for you. Let's play some music. Bill Evans, love him. Anyway, here's today's question. Who wants to have fun? Yeah, you do? Do you really want to have fun? Or are you just saying you want to have fun? Okay, really? You really want to have fun? Okay, well then let's have some fun. We're actually going to run a process. I'm going to guide you through a process in this video. You're going to do it and you're going to love it. I guarantee that you're going to love it, or else in 30 minutes your pizza's cold. Anyway, so we're going to do a really very interesting, fun, enlightening, and surprising identity processing technique. So first I'll explain a little bit about what I mean by identities. An identity is a persona. It's a me that you take on. And we've all got a lot of these that show up at different times. A few bits of background information on identities. An identity is most essentially an attitude. And every identity is fueled by a purpose, a specific purpose in relation to others who are encountered. And any particular identity kind of gets activated in you when you're in a circumstance, and particularly by a circumstance, I mean situation of encountering certain other people that happen to their identities and their attitudes sort of activate this response in you of the identity that you're activating in the moment. Identities do not exist in a vacuum. Identities exist in relation to other specific identities that they are intended to interact with in some favorable or protective way. Okay? Now, identities exist as part of what you could call a sphere or a game sphere, a playing field of activity. And there's not just two identities in opposition to each other, as some theories and some models suggest. But within any game, there's any number of identities. Anyway, these identities take over when they're activated for the most part. Very often they're not consciously being activated. They're taking over, and that's not a good thing. And it's really liberating to regain consciousness and control over any identity. And I'm going to help you experience that now. And you're going to love it. So here's what we're going to do. First of all, I want you to think about a persona, a me, an identity that you wear at times, okay? Whichever one comes to mind. Like right now, just name the identity that you wear. I know there's more than one, but name the one that comes to mind. Give it a name. It could be a descriptive name, or it could just be a name like Joe, or Bob the arrogant guy, or Bill the mistake maker, or Ted the ladies man, whatever, but an actual persona that you find yourself wearing. Okay, so name that identity. Okay, now here we go. Okay, first of all, get the idea of being this identity. Maybe I should shut the music off now so we can focus. We'll get back to you later, Bill Evans. Love Bill Evans. Okay, here we go. So get the idea of being this identity that you've named, okay? And be and remain completely aware of the shifting into that identity. Go. Good. Good job. Okay, now, get the idea of not being this identity and be and remain completely aware of that shift. It's fun, isn't it? It's kind of interesting to consciously do this. Good. Okay, we're going to expand upon this now. Okay? I want to make you aware that this is a step. Everything we're doing now is one procedure that is a step of my particular identity processing technique. It has several steps. This is one of them. It might be the most fascinating one. So anyway, on to the next part of this. Now get the idea of being this identity and be and remain completely aware of the identity and its attitude and how it feels. And be aware of the shift. Good job. Okay. As needed, you can pause this video if you're not quite there yet. Okay. And now to the next step, get the idea of not being this identity and be and remain completely aware of the lightness and effortlessness of no presence of this identity and its attitude and how it feels. And notice and be aware of that shift. By the shift, in this case, I mean the shift out of the identity and all the characteristics thereof. Okay, now, on to the next step once that is done. Decide to be this identity. Okay? Notice the shift, notice its attitude and its feelings, and remain completely aware of the decision to be the identity, in addition to noticing the qualities that it affects you with, what you're feeling in that identity, and of the shift into this. Yeah, I know, it's cool stuff, isn't it? Final step. Now decide not to be this identity. Notice the shift out of the identity and feel the lightness and effortlessness of no presence of the identity, and remain completely aware of the decision not to be the identity, and again, of this shift into the effortlessness and lightness of the absence of this identity. Cool. Good stuff, isn't it? Well, now just allow yourself to experience all that unfolds for you in this feeling and enjoy. And if you'd like to experience more of this and of the full procedure and all the steps of my identity processing techniques, you know where to find me. And that's it for today. Have fun. And this is Dex, the therapeutic spiritualing, I just made up a new word, the therapeutic spiritual counseling specialist. I'm sorry, I shifted into an identity that couldn't pronounce words well. That's it.